day 99. When I started this challenge 99 days ago, I imagined that it'll be sometime in the middle of September that I will be finished. And it was, I think it may have been in June, I don't remember. And it just felt like, I don't know, so much would change, or it was so far away. I was in a very different place than I am now. In that those were extremely intense emotionally months, and I'm still quite, every day is a challenge. Obviously the emotions come up, especially every time I'm launching a program. There is a lot there because I give so much, and I write a lot, and I share what I know, and I really, really want to share with other people. And the work that I propose is so cutting edge that I think people are just not ready. Many people are interested, many people respond to my writing, many people recognize themselves in it, and yet, people, I think, are afraid ultimately to change. And although the way I view change is very different from the way other people view change, because I think most people feel and fear that change means that something very significant that they love even would have to either change or they would lose it. And what I am finding, what happened in my life, is that change for me meant coming into more of sorry, bless me. Change for me has been actually gaining more of who I am, gaining more pleasure and recognition from what I already have. It's really, really coming into clarity for me what my mentor all those years ago said about don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I understand now what it means, that I think a lot of people are worried that, some of their precious relationships will change, or maybe there'll be loss. And you know what? To say that there hasn't been loss would be untrue. There's been loss. There's definitely been loss, but it's loss of old identity. It's loss of a smaller version of who I am. It's loss of certain relationships where there was no room for more of me, So it's interesting. To just watch this process of calling people in, energetically calling people in and putting myself out there, and then just being that magnet that attracts people. And just before I started recording, I pulled out this book. It's called The Living Classroom. And I read it a couple of years ago, maybe a year ago, maybe a little more, January 2021, it says. And it is such a beautiful book, because it's a professor, a university professor, who talks about how this morphic field is created as, each year as students sign up to his class. He was observing kind of how that field was expanding and decreasing. And it was interesting for me as well, in these last several weeks. I must have had 40 or 50 people come through me in calls. That's a huge amount of people. And I was worried that, I won't be able to accept everyone. But there is a natural selection that's happening always. And people get frightened, or they, basically people come in and out. There is like a core that's formed in the beginning, and then the extra people are coming in and out until, the final, we're starting this Thursday, and now it's Tuesday. So by tomorrow afternoon, I'll probably know with finality how many we are. And who is in the group. And yeah, and we're starting on Thursday. It's exciting. It's exciting to think in these terms of, not the way we're used to thinking, imagining that there is like more things at play, other energies, other well, here, for example, I just opened on a random page, and one of my notes is being used by the universe in service to others. I love that so much. Teaching us transmission, personal experience, sort of passing on personal experience. That's a lot of what I do as well. Teaching through transmission. It's not about giving people certain rules or having them memorize stuff. None of it. I'm just kind of a deliverer of certain messages. And for me, the most important thing is that people realize that they are their own highest authority. Because this is what we're missing. We've had enough rules, and we've been very good girls and very good boys and follow the rules. And I just feel like the world where we're going, we need to become authority for ourselves, discerning. It doesn't mean that other people's choices are not good for them. So there is that, what is right for me doesn't mean that it's right for you. There is that kind of acceptance and understanding that my reality is mine and yours is yours, and what's good for me, what serves me, may not be what's good for you and what serves you, but only you can know that, so yeah, it's just so exciting to be in this world that's different than the world in which I was raised. Speaking deepens their absorption of new material. Interesting. Anyway, I love this book. I wanted to share. If somebody is a teacher or any kind of lecturer, I think he writes a lot of beautiful things, not only about teaching, but just the way the energy is brings people together, how we attract each other into our orbit. And for somebody like me who speaks and speaks and speaks and writes and really communicate, I've been observing this phenomenon from the very first days, before I even understood what it was that I was doing exactly. I was receiving information, started sharing it, and started attracting people. So everything that I am today wasn't a planned out experience for me. It was just following inner nudges, and everything else came to me in response. So that's just such a beautiful, place to be and to recognize, and just, it's so magical too. I try to remember. I don't always remember. Sometimes I get upset about things that are happening here in 3D, and then I remind myself that 3D is just one of our experiences, and there is a lot more that's happening in the invisible realm. But I feel it anyway, even if I don't see it. Anyway, so tomorrow is the last day of the series. Thank you so much for everyone who's expressed themselves. I had another client today who said that, that this was really somehow important to see me daily and to hear my messages. So thank you so much, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow.